The sunny town of Blenheim, Marlborough's second largest, lies close to the Alpine Fault, New Zealand's longest earthquake fault line. The fault is over 600 kilometres long and runs almost the entire length of the South Island. It shapes the course of the Wairau River, which dominates the area around Blenheim. The Wairau River meets the sea at the Wairau Bar, a bank of gravel first formed around 14,000 years ago. A coastal current deposited gravel and other materials in the shallow waters, slowly forming the bank. Behind the bank, the river dumped sediment until the bay filled in. Remains of Māori have been found at the Wairau Bar, which are believed to date from the 13th century, close to the time that Māori are thought to have first arrived in New Zealand. A rich sea and bird life would have supported them. Scrap heaps of bones and shells at Wairau Bar indicate that seals, fish and large birds, including more, all featured in the diet of early Māori settlers. Further inland in the Wairau Valley, the river created swamps. Because the Wairau Plain lies very low, it is subject to flooding. A major flood occurred in Blenheim in 1868, when the Taylor and Wairau rivers flooded at the same time.
Blenheim is submerged, except for the buildings on one ridge. The partly built Presbyterian church floated off its piles and down the river, eventually crashing into the bridge. Cattle, sheep and pigs came along swimming for dear life, whole stacks of fencing, timber and firewood, furniture, boxes, etc., all drifting onwards to the great deep.
Blenheim was dubbed Beaver Town by early surveyors, as it was often completely swamped by water and resembled a beaver dam in a river.
We have now had 9 floods in 11 weeks, each of them being of sufficient size to entirely suspend business operations for 2 days.
But the river which caused many problems for Blenheim also ended up being the key to the region's wealth. The alluvial plain that has been built up over centuries by the Wairau River consists of free-draining stony soil that was once the river bottom. It is ideal for growing grapes. This soil, combined with Marlborough's sunny climate and the shelter provided by hills, makes the Wairau Valley an excellent wine-producing area. The first grapes grown in Marlborough were planted in the 1870s, but it took another 100 years before viticulture was tried here on a commercial scale. Marlborough was thought to be too dry and cold for grapes, but in the 1970s, Ivan Jukic of Montana Wines noticed that a summer combination of hot sunny days and cool nights would be ideal for some grape varieties. One of the first white wines that Montana produced here was called Blenheim. During the 1980s and 1990s, numerous vineyards sprang up throughout the Wairau Valley as vintners realised that sauvignon blanc grapes flourished in Marlborough's temperate climate. Sauvignon Blanc put New Zealand on the world wine map. The 1985 vintages from Cloudy Bay and Hunters introduced the British public to New Zealand wine. The characteristic smelly sock or cat's pee whiff of Sauvignon Blanc is connected with wine from the Marlborough region. By 2002, Sauvignon Blanc took over from Chardonnay as New Zealand's most commonly planted grape. Today, over 2/3 of New Zealand's Sauvignon Blanc vines are found in Marlborough. In 1992, Marlborough's vineyards covered less than 2,000 hectares. By 2009, they covered over 20,000. What started as a venture by one company has transformed the Marlborough economy.